Good morning and welcome. Welcome to my very first book review. And I don't want my book reviews to be 30 minutes long. This particular book is almost 300 pages long, and certainly there's no way to review an entire 300 pages. But we'll introduce it and we'll offer it first to my patrons, and then to if no one of my patrons wants the book, then I will offer it up to my United States subscribers on YouTube in the Leather Journey. So the book is Screw the Roses and Send Me the Thorns, The Romance and Sexual Sorcery of Sadomasochism by Philip Miller and Molly Devon. First edition was done in 1995. This particular book is the 8th printing. So I acquired this in 1999. The 8th printing was done in 1998, and it was my guide into the lifestyle. Many people consider this the Bible of S&M and leather. The hit on the book is that it's written from a traditional male dominant, female submissive paradigm or perspective, simply because that's the perspective of the authors. They acknowledge that in either the preface or the first chapter, I forget. Early on in the book they acknowledge that, but they also acknowledge that there are many, many other different types of relationships in leather, whether they be female dominant, male submissive, female-female relationship, male-male relationship. There's so many different flavors of the rainbow, if you will, in leather, and they acknowledge that, but they still write from that perspective. So if you know that, then when you read a passage, for example, you just kind of in your head you can kind of substitute. They're writing about submission and dominance, and that in a power exchange in a consensual leather relationship, power flows from the bottom up, in that the submissive obeys because she chooses to. So when you read that, you go, the submissive obeys because he or she chooses to, or they choose to. So you can adjust your pronouns as you read it, and realizing the book was written 2.5 decades ago and was written from a certain perspective doesn't change how good the information is that's in it. And literally, it's a BDSM 101. Let me finish reading that one little section, though, because that's really good. We call the submissives, therefore, empowering the dominant by their decision. We call a consensual empowerment of the dominant by the submissive a power exchange. So see, I did a little slip-o there. I changed that pronoun from she to they, and you would not have known if I hadn't told you. Okay, but it's a very good book, very well illustrated. All the illustrations are in black and white. I've read it now twice. There's a little bit, if you take all the major techniques or major interests in S&M, whether it be rope, bondage, impact play, violet wand, or electric play, all of the different things, erotic massage, even how to build certain simple types of dungeon equipment. There's illustrations and measurements and pictures showing. There's a really good glossary in the back that I think is about 12 pages long. In fact, that's kind of the way they started writing the book. They took the glossary, is what it looks like to me, and in the first couple chapters, they took the major keywords out of that glossary and spent like a little paragraph expanding or doing an annotated glossary. And the reason why, it's the same regardless of what field you're in. If you're in computers, there's this computer speak that people in the industry use and know. So when you go in for an interview and you're talking with someone and you throw some of this computer speak out, if they look at you like they don't know what you're talking about, then they may or may not be the person for the job. So when you're in an interview with another lifestyle person, whether it be at a munch or casual conversation, and you're looking for a play partner or looking, for a relationship, you can use what they call scene speak, because there's certain terms, whether it be vanilla, munch, there's a whole glossary of terms that people in leather are familiar with and we use naturally, that someone who isn't familiar with leather or might be a newbie, that's another scene speak term, someone who might be new might not know. Okay, so this is a book that would introduce you to all of those terms and a lot of those techniques and stuff. Some of the terminology, I would say, in 2023 is a little dated. We don't talk about a single tail lash anymore. That's a little bit older term for single tail whip. We talk about single tails, we talk about single tail whips, we talk about the types of whips, signal, snake, bull whips, whatnot. We don't often refer to those as lashes, and this book in the mid-90s did. But it's a very good book. So I offer it to you. If you're my patron and are interested in this book, then simply write me either on FetLife or on Patreon, and the first person that writes me, you don't need to bother giving me the mailing address or anything like that, because let's see who raises their hand first. If you raise your hand first and I write you back and say you are the winner of the giveaway, then you would need to write me back with personal mailing information, and I will mail this book to you, media mail at no cost to you, as a gift, a way to pass on part of my leather experience to you so you can enjoy it as well. And I would encourage you, as I have done, to read this book, keep it as a reference, and refer to it from time to time when you need to. And then I can't tell you what to do with your book once it becomes yours, but I think it's kind of nice if down the road you could find someone else to pass this book on to. As always, thanks for watching The Leather Journey.